Hey, y'all. Welcome to the Speak Get Ready Cash podcast. Today, joining me is Dr. Viola Pierce, who is fabulous and helps nurses become millionaires. She's also an incredible member of the Speak Get Ready Cash Mastermind, who is celebrating her highest grossing month ever. And she's in the building to talk to us about how she did it. So, Dr. Viola, welcome to the Speak Get Ready Cash podcast. Let our audience know what it is that you do.
So, I famously say that we teach nurses how to work from their computers anywhere around the world, make money, and own it their own time, build a profitable nurse coaching and consulting businesses.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. And how did you come into the Speak Your Way to Cash Mastermind? How did you even learn about the Speak Your Way to Cash brand?
Well, so I have this great friend, her name is Alviana, and she is in another coaching program, and she told me about you. And so of course I love books, and so I went and I bought your book, and I was listening to your book, and I was like, I love everything about this book. And I was like, I need to be in her mastermind. And so it was just a matter of when I was going to get in there.
I love it. I love it. And that's so rare too, because most people are like, okay, well, I need to first read the book, then I need to go to an event, then I can join an event, then I need to wait for this. And you were just like, nope, read the book, knew that I wanted to be in the mastermind, just waited for a matter of time and got in there quickly, off cycle. So I love that. And we've loved having you in the community. And it feels like you just joined it during one of our open enrollment periods, because you just like obviously fit right in. Everyone loves you. So it's been perfect.
Yeah, it was so funny because I inboxed you. Actually, I was like, I want to join your mastermind. And you were like, well, I'm gonna have Chris call you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. Everyone like pretty much talks to Chris because he knows the system, he knows the mastermind process. And so Chris does a lot of our client success, like sales calls, and he's fabulous at getting people in. At one event, we actually were like, hey, how many of y'all talked to Chris before you joined? And like everyone's hand went up. So he's helped so many people get into the mastermind, and I love him for that. And for other reasons, because if y'all don't know, Chris is my husband. Hopefully you know that if you're listening to the podcast, but hopefully you know that. So where were you at before the mastermind? What were you experiencing in your business where you were like, okay, I need some additional guidance around this? Some things are obviously going well too, but what was it that made you feel this is what I need to do?
Well, I wanted to learn how to speak from the stage. I wanted to learn how to speak confidently from the stage. I wanted to learn the aspects of that. I knew that not just from your books, from your podcast, because I would listen to your podcast in the mornings when I would be in the gym. And it was just, there was no doubt in my mind every single time, everything that you said, I knew that you were the person for me. And I aligned, and even my friends, they tell me now, even the people who are in my program, they say, it seems like you align with Ashley so much better than you've ever aligned with anyone. And it is because, you're such a go-getter. And I'm such a go-getter as well. And so I love your spirit. I love the way that you care. But you're upfront, you care, but you're confident in how you deliver the news, the bad news, the good news, the indifferent news, however it is, you deliver it. It doesn't matter, like you're straightforward, right? And so I love that about you. And so because I knew that I wanted to speak, and I knew that I wanted to also get into the corporate space as well. So I knew that I needed to have, I needed to be in this space with you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So let's talk about this highest grossing month ever. So you had your highest grossing month, and when did you realize that you had achieved that milestone in your business? Were you looking at your numbers to report it in the revenue portal, or how did you realize that you experienced this month?
Well, I look at my numbers every day.
Yes. That's what I'm talking about.
So I look at my numbers every day. And so I knew when I hit it, I hit it probably about the 20th of the month. And so I was like, that's cool.
Wow, month wasn't even over. Okay, I love that. I love that. And so you have this month. It's a multi five figure month, y'all. We ain't gonna put all her numbers in the street, but multi five figure month. And you look at your numbers every day. You realize you hit it. What would you say were like the 1 to 2 biggest contributors to you hitting that milestone?
Well, I was able to sell from the stage confidently. That was and understanding the nuances of how to sell from the stage. I went to millions from the stage, and you just taught us the nuances for selling from the stage. And once I learned that, I went to another conference and I got 2 clients from that particular conference. There were multiple 5-figure clients, and it was a wrap. And that's how I grossed that much that month.
That's
So
incredible. And I want to point out something, you guys. She says she went to a conference, someone else's conference. So many of you are like, well, I can't plan my own event. I don't have the budget to plan my own event. So it sounds like you were able to go to another event where you probably couldn't do a full pitch, and generate leads that converted into tens of thousands of dollars. Is that right?
that's right. That's right. It was a 45-minute speech.
Wow, that's incredible. And so we heard from Sade on another episode where she was able to land a 15K client from a 10-minute cash chat. So you guys, so it's not that speaking for free is bad, it's that you have to speak in qualified rooms always. Because if the room is qualified, that 10 minutes or that 45 minutes can result in tens of thousands of dollars for your business if you know the system for selling from the stage. So I appreciate you breaking that down. Like, that's really good. And then we talked about something else. Something that's new to your business is launching more. Now, many of you who know me know that I did like 17 launches last year. We've still been launching every single month this year. We will continue to do so, sometimes multiple launches in a month, which I don't necessarily recommend. But launching every month taught me a lot. How has that transformed? How has your launch process transformed since being in the mastermind?
So I now launch every month. And just from, it's sort of like it was one of the authors of one of the books that I was reading, and he talked about when you're walking beside someone and that person is walking at a 5.0 pace. I'll say, okay, and then this other person is walking at a 4.0 pace, we'll say, right? Well, if you're walking by with a person that's walking at a 5.0 pace, then that's the pace that you walk at. Well, when I came into this mastermind, you were walking at that 5.0 pace, right? And so I was like, I gotta walk at that 5.0 pace. And so I'm good now walking at that pace. And it's because, you're the sum total of the 5 people you hang out with the most. And if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. And so, I just do what you do. I literally listen to you and do what you do because you have been successful. So, hey.
I love it. And I tell people all the time too, and maybe you'll agree with this. There are so many benefits to launching consistently outside of just the money. Like the things that you learn about your audience, your list growing. What are some of the wins you've had just from increasing the amount of times that you're launching?
So I think one of the biggest wins is really just continuing. Like when I go to a stage, I'm super confident on stage
Yep.
because of the fact that I'm always talking from the stage, essentially, right?
Yep.
Virtual stage, but I'm always talking from the stage. And so that is probably one of the biggest wins.
Yeah, that's a huge, huge, huge win. And just staying in front of your audience, the email list size growing, like all of that is absolutely incredible. And your webinars are converting.
Mhm.
So let's talk about that because there's someone listening who's like, well, in order for me to make 5 figures from a webinar, I have to have thousands of people, on my list. I have to have thousands of people in the virtual room. So let's talk about one of your 5 figure launches. So let's say, like, what is the process? Like, are you running ads to get people to show up to your webinar? How are you getting people in the door?
So we run ads about 2 weeks prior to our master classes. So is what we call them. And so we run ads 2 weeks before. We cut them off on that. Typically we do them on a Tuesday. We cut them off on that Monday. And then of course we send multiple sequence. I think it's like 5 or 7 emails prior to, 5 afterwards. And then we send text, I want to say 2 to 4 texts prior to get them in the room, to make sure that they're in the room. There was probably on this particular one, well, because there's 2, there was probably about 40, maybe 50 people on the master class. And
that is amazing. And from there, you have them book a sales call, close them on the phone after the masterclass. Is that right?
So for the one that we closed, the 5-figure client, I had to close them on the call, because you told me don't send them to a call.
That's what I'm talking about.
I do what you tell me to do.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. So previously, you were having people do calls right away. You weren't closing on your webinars directly, but this time you actually you pitched a 10K offer on the call and closed on the actual webinar.
Mhm.
And how long was the webinar?
3 hours.
3 hours. 3 hours, 10K. And you had other prospects that were able to book calls, and you were able to identify some interest too. That's fabulous. Like, that is fabulous. The first time that happened for you, were you like, whoa, I could have been doing this all along? What was your reaction like?
I was like, I should listen to her more.
Yeah.
I mean, she's my coach for a reason, right?
Right. Yeah, because so many people are like, you cannot sell that much, you can't sell that high of an offer directly from a masterclass. But I'm like, for everyone listening to this who's learning and following along, like, oh my goodness, I had a $997 course and it didn't sell for my masterclass. Like, just know, one, you can always get better at presenting and positioning your offers. That's really the piece. But then 2, we're in an environment where people that know. There's always someone, I believe, in every room who knows exactly what they want. And then there's other people who may need a call. They may need some additional follow-up. So I'm not a fan of like not doing any of that, like not calling, not following up. But if you got people's attention, that is a huge currency in a market that's so crowded and noisy, is attention. So leverage that currency of attention. So I love that. I love that. So what's been your biggest non-monetary win since joining the mastermind?
I think it's just a sisterhood. I mean, for me, it is hanging out with women who are just clear bosses, and just, everybody uplifting everyone. Just your, it's the creation, it's how you have created this environment where we're able to come in and we're able to be ourselves. We're able to be good, as Black women, right? In this environment, and you are unapologetic about it. I absolutely love it. For me, I mean, I'm here to stay.
Yeah. Yes. I love the sisterhood. Like, I feel like, I created the mastermind, but I always tell people like I'm in my own mastermind. like I'm in it because this was a space that I wish I'd had, with other people who had similar values and also have, great personal values, but also value growing a business. And I think we definitely can do both. So that's incredible. That is incredible. So were there anything that surprised you about the mastermind or that you've learned about yourself by being in the mastermind?
I don't think so. I've been in masterminds before, so I don't think there was anything that surprised me. But I just love just everything, the integrity, the high levels of execution, the sisterhood. I mean, I really cannot say enough about everything. I love everything. When you come in, you have a win, everybody is congratulating you, everybody is good with it. You are congratulating us. I mean, it's just, I love it. I mean,
Yes. No, I love that. And I do, I love, when our business does well and all of that, but I'm telling you, like, it makes me more happy to see my clients winning because I know that it unlocks a level of confidence that, oh, I could do this again. Oh, I'm going to keep doing this. Oh, this is for me. And once it's something about, you see other people do it, but then once you do it yourself, that is when your confidence is like really built. Like, I actually accomplished that. So I love seeing that for all of you all and all of us. Now, what would you say to the person who's like, okay, well, this sounds great. I've been looking at Ashley for a while. I've already read the book. I've done all the things, but I'm just apprehensive about spending that much money, particularly because, you mentioned you've been in other masterminds, but other people are like, I've been in other programs and it was not a good experience. And so that is what's keeping them from maybe trusting again. Maybe they had community hurt. They were in communities where people were mean, or they didn't get what they needed. What would you say to that person who's maybe an experienced investor in programs that's like on the fence because there's been something that happened to them in the past that they just can't get over?
so I have been in coaching programs where it was not, it was not so good, but I believe that a coach needs a coach. I mean, I don't believe that you can really be effective as a coach and not, and I believe that in order for you to move the needle, then you need to have a coach. It is hands down, it is a non-negotiable for me. I believe that that's just what you need. And so I'm a firm believer that I can't do it by myself. So if you think you can do it by yourself, then by all means, go ahead. You probably won't get as far as you need to be, but go ahead. But however, if you understand the value of coaching and understand how to do this is the thing with Ashley. She is amazing, just hands down. She's amazing at delivering content. She gives you all the unlocked secrets, all the everything that she knows you get. And so for me, that's key, right? And your high levels of execution and seeing you execute at that high level, and also seeing how you do things, and just your integrity and your gracefulness and your pouring back into us, hands down. This community is one that I will always be in.
Yes. No, that is amazing. I appreciate that so much. Well, what would you say to the nurses listening who are like, okay, this is great. I'm excited about the mastermind, but how can I learn more about Dr. Viola? So, how can they get in touch with you, learn more about what you have coming up? Let us know.
So you can follow us on VP Nursing anywhere. Okay. So vpnursing.com is our website. Instagram, VP Nursing. Of course, Viola Pierce on Facebook, on LinkedIn, Viola Pierce, wherever I am. And of course, the Millionaire CEO Conference, you can follow us as well.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Viola, for speaking to the Speak Your Way to Cash family. We will drop all her links below. And if you want to apply for the mastermind, please do. We will drop the link for that as well. And I will see you guys soon. See you next time.